for regenerative therapy in Champa Bay. Introducing first, Clayton Day.
Century, doing something mean to it, do it better than anybody you ever seen. Do it, scream from the haters, got a nice ring to it. I guess every superhero in this thing music. No one man can have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power. The system broken, the school's closed, the prison's open.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to kick things off here at Combat Quest Influencers 2. If I'm not mistaken, this is Clayton Day making his way to the cage.
You got the right walkout song for this one, along with that showcase.
And introducing Brayton Green.
And here goes his opponent, Brayton Green, social media handle @theyhate.pray. This young man is also making his boxing debut here today at Combat Quest Influencers 1.
Got another great walkout song for this one as well.
You know, there's been a long-running theme here at Vigilant MMA of just seeing who has the best walkout song, and right now, I mean, two pretty good ones to get our night started off here. Brayton Green looking like he's ready to go here today. His opponent, Clayton Clay Day. We've seen him fight before at the Combat Quest Influencers 1 card. He did have a boxing matchup as well. Unfortunately, fell short.
I'm a big fan of the Redemption series. I've known my fair share of losses, but it's always how you bounce back.
Absolutely. I mean, every loss, especially in the amateur world, is always a lesson to see what you can do to be better the next time around. And hopefully he learned from that matchup against Pressure at Combat Quest Influencers 1. But here we go. Let's see if he's ready to go up against Brayton Green here today. I can't help but notice Brayton Green also wearing white tie shorts.
For your first bout of the afternoon.
I'm a big fan already.
Introducing first, fighting out of the Dynamic Health and Wellness Blue Corner, an independent fighter making his combat sports debut, Clayton Day. And fighting out of the Go 54 Realty Red Corner, also an independent fighter, also making his combat sports debut, Brayton Green. The third man in the cage, your referee, Juan Fernandez.
Now, I remember speaking to Clayton Day previously when we were gearing up for Combat Quest Influencers 1. And if I remember correctly, I have my notes here, he's amassed close to 300,000 combined followers between TikTok, Snapchat, and Instagram. He's a former college baseball player at Columbia University. Unfortunately, he had to medically retire from baseball because of a second shoulder surgery that he had to undergo. But now, I mean, getting his way into the combat sports world. He said he's loved fighting always. His long-term goal is to make it into the UFC, but short-term goal is to take over the influencer boxing scene first.
Yeah, definitely can't underestimate somebody that's been broken multiple times before. They always have a great bounce back.
And here we go. We are underway with the first fight of the evening. So far, Clay Day, solid technical boxing. I mean, a couple punches to open up here. Let's see if Brayton's able to fight back. A little bit of dirty boxing here from Clayton.
Kind of throwing caution in the wind right from the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's one thing to have nerves, you know, in front of a crowd, but especially in your first time out in the cage for Brayton, and I mean only the second time for Clayton.
Everybody has a plan until things like these happen when they just let their hands fly.
Clayday swinging wildly right now. Brayton is doing his best to kind of get his composure back. Starting to back Clayday into the fence here.
Going busy on the body already early.
You can hear Brayton's coach egging him to stay busy. I mean, he was not stopped by the referee there up against the cage, and in that case, you need to stay busy, especially when you're working the body like that. Clayday left his torso come there. Nice left hand landed there from Brayton, but Clayday wore it pretty well.
Listening to his coach, starting off with the lead jab first. Maybe put out a little bit more, and he'll land that left hand more.
And the thing is that can happen with a lot of young fighters too. They might want to look for that highlight reel knockout, and they don't really go into the technical boxing that's going to lead them to that highlight reel knockout. There's, you know, rarely does that knockout come without a good setup.
Yeah, it's always better to look better for the opportunity and just slowly draw them in.
Right.
And that's what seems like what's happening right now.
Couple 1-2s up the middle from Clayday. And, I mean, 10 seconds left in the first round. It's just a little mix of there's some good fundamentals there, but then it just seems they get off balance pretty quickly. That's the end of the first round. So, I mean, just as we expected, a little bit of a feeling out process here, especially from two guys who are really cutting their teeth in the fight game. But, I mean, just as I was saying before, we see some flashes of some technical ability here, some good base, some good boxing from Clayday. But then things get a little dirty, things get a little wobbly, and then it starts to get a little out of control. But, I mean, now going into the second round, they know what each other is capable of. They've kind of gotten that feeling out process out of the way. And, I mean, it's time to dig in, test their cardio a little bit, and, you know, see what they can do here in the second round. I mean, right now, if you're Brayton's coach in the corner, I mean, you saw Clayday getting a little dirty. What do you tell your fighter in that moment?
I tell my fighter is when things get close, start ripping that body open. He did leave his elbows up pretty high. If he had just capitalized on that more, if he has him on the fence again, body, head, he can end up turning the tables in this fight. Because right now it's pretty edgy, pretty close. Both are trying to fill each other out.
Right.
But whoever can establish that lead jab, that's what's going to change the entire fight.
And I mean,
and start mixing it up more with the body.
For sure. And I mean, I feel like Brayton is going to need to be first here to open up this round because Clayday came out swinging pretty much right away to start round one. If Brayton can be first here and stay a little more aggressive, if at the minimum he needs to get up in this round in points if he doesn't get a knockout.
Trying to get that early center control, which is one thing I think both these guys could have taken advantage of. Control the center. For
sure. And here we go. So he was jockeying for center position here, both circling up a bit. Both fighters landing in that exchange.
Playing a little bit smarter going into this round. They're playing cautious, but staying a little bit closer on the defense.
And they're both taking a couple good shots.
Good 2-3-2.
Brayton just a little bit on
a wobbly feet. Yeah.
Shark smells the blood in the water. Brayton trying to get his composure back. Brayton seems like he's getting a little flustered at times. Like he's getting flustered quicker than Clayton is. Clayton does have a little bit more of his composure, I guess. I mean, just seems a little more confident here in the pocket.
Yeah, we can't let the little things like our headgear get in our way. Just got to stay focused on the fight and stay composed. Throw some punches to throw him off and be able to pull it from here.
And I mean, it just feels like they're both scared to get hit here. They neither wants to go take that first shot. They're both kind of looking to counterbox a little bit, it seems like. And just a prime example of that, we saw Brayton go for the straight left and Clayton tried to counterpunch, but I mean, not much happening here.
Better setups will lead to the power punches for both these guys.
For sure.
I would love to see one of these guys to establish that. Not reaching for the jab, but throw the jab.
Right.
Starting off with the power hand is nice, but you'll find it if you just throw that lead jab first for both these guys. They're both in that southpaw base. The lead right hand will set everything up.
10 seconds.
Somebody's going to have to pull it right here to steal this round.
So, I mean, if we're talking points-wise and the judges' scorecards, I would have to say Clayton Day has the first round most likely.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this second round is just kind of hard to tell. There wasn't much activity coming from either end. If I had to give it to somebody, I would say Clayton Day. He was the more active of the two, and that's saying a lot, as saying there wasn't much happening in that round. But, I mean, in this round, the third and final round, it's either a knockout finish or they're going to have to get enough to sway the judges' scorecards in their direction one way or the other. I mean, that second round was pretty even, but with that being said, I feel like Brayton really has to have a hell of a round here in this third round or get a knockout if he wants the victory. If not, if Clayton Day stays aggressive and keeps doing what he's doing, I feel like he might have this one.
Yeah, if I'm the coach for either fighter, I would tell my fighter, hey, treat this round like it's 1-1. Somebody has to go this round.
Right.
Start pulling the trigger more, establish your lead jab, and you'll win this fight.
Here we go. Corners are out of the cage. Doors are about to be sealed up, and we will be ready to go with the third and final round of the opening bout, Combat Quest Influencer Card 2.
Time to find out who really wants it more this round.
Oh, need that. Definitely need that. And here we go. Oh, looks like we're going to get just a touch of gloves here to start the third round. And we are underway. Final round of action here between Clayton Day, and Brayton Green.
Clayton loves to charge in with his eyes down. He keeps his eyes up so he can see what he's throwing first.
And, I mean, yes, these two both do have coaches and corners with them. However, both of them are still independent fighters. I feel if both of these guys were to go and get some legitimate training and get a real team behind them, it would make the world of a difference because they're both showing some pretty good potential here. There's some fundamentals there already. But, I mean, just like you were saying, there's some technical problems that they're facing that could be corrected. And if they really want to make a difference in boxing, as Clayton Day was saying before, he wanted to make a difference in influencer boxing world, I think the start would be to get a good team behind him.
Yeah, you got to be that fighter that takes that sacrifice. Come into the gym as many times as you can throughout the entire week. 6-7 days a week. Definitely push it for 7, but 6 is the minimum. Twice a day at the most. Work on every single aspect of this game, whether it be boxing, Muay Thai, grappling, all around MMA. It'll make the world of a difference for both these guys.
Yeah, I mean, they always say you get out what you put in. And, I mean, it always comes to show on fight day. You know, you can tell who decided to cut back at camp, who decided to actually show up and go hard. And, I mean, right now, I mean, we're just seeing much of the same of what we saw in the second round. A bit of a stalemate here. Nobody really wants to take the first shot. I mean, they're kind of scared to make a mistake. But I guess this is going to go to decision.
Mistakes can cost you, but the one that gets the win more likely is going for that risky shot.
10 seconds.
Right now, they both have to pull the trigger at this one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is normally when you see people swinging for the fences, especially in the final 10 seconds.
It looks like they're kind of showing it right here.
And
but a little too late.
I'm about to say too little too late. If we saw that same aggression, that same willingness to actually go for it, we would have had probably a much different fight earlier on. But nonetheless, 3 rounds done and out of the way here between Clayton Day and Brayton Green to open up Combat Quest Influencers 2. And I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what the judges' scorecards are going to say. I have a feeling that Clay Day is going to be our winner, but then again, you know, we're not getting paid to be the judges.
Exactly. I would hate to have their job right now.
Right.
But mad respect to both these guys, because not everybody can do what they're trying to do today.
No, absolutely. I mean, this is the first fight for Brayton Green, only the second fight for Clay Day. I mean, you can't really take that away from them. This is the first time they're actually stepping into the cage and cutting their teeth. But, I mean, if they really want to get serious about taking this on as a career, making this a lifestyle, it has to be exactly that, a lifestyle. They got to find a good team to get behind them and correct the mistakes, find the technical difficulties so that way they can actually come out here and compete at a high level. But nonetheless, looks like we're going to get our judges' scorecards collected here.
Yeah, regardless who wins or loses this fight, they should both take this as an experience match. Regardless of the outcome, they can both learn from this.
100%.
And I'm sure they got great coaches behind both their corners. Well, it seems to me they need to put a little more dedication to them.
And ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, on top of the last couple fights we have on the Combat Quest Influencers card, there is a whole night of MMA, boxing, and kickboxing action coming your way later on with Combat Quest 39. So once we wrap up here for Combat Quest Influencers 2, do not go anywhere, because Combat Quest 39 is going to be making your way to us shortly after. And it looks like we've got our scorecards. Together. Let's send you up to Lewis from the Hit Life for the official announcement of your winner.
Very interesting to see how this gets called.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by unanimous decision, Clayton Day.
Kind of saw this decision being made off the back of my head.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed pretty clear, especially after that opening
Clayton,
round.
an excellent combat sports debut. How are you feeling after your first fight?
This is actually my second fight. My first fight was June 29th, right down the road, actually, against Pressure, matter of fact. It didn't go close to the third round to a 2KO. But getting back to this, man, it was a good fight. I had to cut 25 pounds. Wasn't public 2 months ago, fractured my nose, so I missed a whole month of training. It was just a lot of stuff that built into this, and plus got postponed from October to now. No excuses. We're going to get back to camp with my squad. They did a great job coaching me. Ran into some obstacles, but everybody does, man. I also want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, as he was here with me today as well, and put us all here. Win or lose in this ring, as long as you have Jesus Christ with you, you're a winner in the world. So keep Jesus Christ. Shout out Iron Roots. They were the sponsor for today. Family that farms out of Kentucky gets your ground beef and lamb from them online at ironroots.com. Shout out to them. Shout out to my family. Shout out to everybody supporting. I love you guys.
Clayton Day, everyone.
After hearing all that, it's a very relatable scenario I had in my last fight.
Grab a drink, check out the vendors. We'll be right back for more fights.
Had my nose break a month out before the fight. And I had to cut 25 pounds, get ready for that one. And unfortunately, I took that L, but I learned from that. Most people will quit when they break something.
Some people are just born to fight, I think. It's not that they're born brave. It's not that they're born strong. It's just that the universe has decided that this one will have grit and fire and steel in their blood. And it'll be tested, this cosmic metal of theirs. They'll face trial after trial, be broken and damaged in countless ways. But this one was born to fight. Maybe it's not the life they would have chosen. Maybe they'd love to lay down their arms. But they were born to fight. It's what they know. It's what they do best. It's all they can do.
If you have the opportunity to play this game of life, you need to appreciate every moment.
There is no tomorrow.
A lot of people don't appreciate their moment
There is no tomorrow.
until it's past.
There is no tomorrow.